sure. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would... we can still...
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expect...
Hello there.
So you two are still hanging out together. Dehya!
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard. The Homayanis also still post job.
I told Dehya to just stay at our place when she took one. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were...
That sounds like something they would say. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as...
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dehya. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes! I can't believe you can still refuse that!
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the... There are so many places I still...
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some...
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me.
Oh, looks like Junior's...
You're too perceptive, my lady. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything...
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can...
My lady... You're not gonna stop until you drag it... All right, I'll share what I know. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organization. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the relics.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they...
Deshret's relics is composed of many smaller... On any other day, I would want nothing to...
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by...
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your...
I won't go into details, my lady. But they've been involved in a lot of violent...
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens...
That's beyond terrible. They won't even...
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do know, if I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the... I just wish I knew what's driven...
Yeah. How can your father do such...
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least...
That's setting the bar pretty...
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything Of course, the other brigade members were just like him.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother?
Unfortunately, I never... It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But the problem was that he had terrible taste. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries...
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get help. It was only much later when I realized that the shows...
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. That was something until I grew up and learned the truth. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, no one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his crew, did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between...
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father, and I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to... Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as...
I see.
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any...
What should we do? They both...
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up...
Well, he's super tough, so if he went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the...
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if... I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please.
I'm honored that... All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot.
I sure hope they'll be okay.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours? Oh, so you've... Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, they've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. It's...
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenary, a portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more. Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for more. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be...
Wait, a power...
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims, if their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attack... Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as Khaenri'ah al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics is...
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the...
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation.
What he said. Besides, Dehya, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of...
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khaenri'ah al-Ahmar, any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Isham and Khalid.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebot. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing. Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you.
Hey!
Oh,
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most...
Oh. In that case, then you'd better take care.
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and help, even if she had only survived on sheer luck. Then that alone would still make her quite...
I had no idea.
Oh, one other thing, Dehya. When you're free, why don't you update... We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone... The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few...
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring it...
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us.
Hey, didn't we agree to never...
Huh? Wait, are you serious?
I don't think you were part of...
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that?
All right.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here.
Are they always...
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all... That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry... Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, You hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation. All you gotta do is wait and ambush.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to...
Will do. You
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another.
No need to worry. He knows his way.
I'm not worried about that. Ah, here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to...
That's close enough. Feeling lucky today? Propagate! Here! Stabilize!
Shine down!
Oh, the Where do you think you're going?
Buckle up!
You're... the flame...
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else.
That might have worked on an amateur, but I think about it though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this? You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employee...
Whoa!
I'm not joking around. We can do this the 2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid. I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound...
What? Why?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time, New... There are lots of...
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it.
Let me take a look. If this... Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Tikrit. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. This caravan is just one link in their logistics. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for...
No.
Yeah. Every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora. But the final one, where they paid for... perhaps. Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shahzaman Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shahzaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's... Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry, you're right. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani...
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark?
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this caravan... They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Khaenri'ah or Port Ormos. Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid.
But why would he do something like this?
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past, but that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low. You're probably right. I know my lady's person.
But what should we do now? All we
If you ask me, I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. Let's go find my lady again. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision?
I've considered that possibility. She showed genuine concern for me when we first. That's not how I deal.
You're right. Paimon wants to.
Yeah. We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then.
Actually, we're still investigating.
I see. The clues you found have led.
Something like that.
You all look a little dispirited. Why don't you discuss it with me?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being.
So something is wrong. On any other day, Paimon would have already waited. So
My lady, please prepare yourself for.
the Master. Okay, I understand. My father has been.
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so maybe he's not actually aware of the full story.
I can't help but agree.
Huh? You mean.
Thank you for sharing all. Since you've told me everything you know, in the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the core of
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best. He offered me a pile of Moras.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question.
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I think I get what you're saying. You'd think none of this.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seemed strange or out of place. If my father had always been in contact with the Khan al-Akmar.
You mean. The goal all along.
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all time.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
Sorry we put all of this on you so.
It's okay, Paimon. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has.
But is that. My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he had. However, the Homayani family, if we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire.
Dehya.
It's all right, Dehya. If anyone were to ask.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm.
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope! What was the thing about Frank? Right, yeah, true! Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the.
Thank you, everyone. That makes. In which case, my lady?
Sure thing.
Usual?
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two.
Yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time, but we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention.
So, that's what you found? Huh. Seems like...
If you wouldn't mind, we'd...
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be... What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring...
Wait.
Yes. I understand perfectly why you came to see me. But knowledge always comes at a price. Your father, Kusela, and I. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but the facts of this matter may reduce everything. If you must proceed, then Kusela...
His heartfelt efforts. I've made it this far in life without I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people in I came here today to support you as the head of the Homiyani family.
I understand. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just up. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed, those Eremites were Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. We started talking about our children and to repay his kindness. I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for...
So, that's what...
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knock. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced.
So, what happened to him?
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't he then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts.
So he was the one who
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt. He was already beyond redemption, but if Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard...
And that's why you offered her.
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment... And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked... Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert.
He was always like that. Acting like he's oh so...
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always sent me funds. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that letter contained a request to help him buy food.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dekhan...
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put... That thought occurred to me as well. After some deliberation, I am aware that even such a... In the end, it probably was the...
If you can, please tell me. None of the things he's doing right now make any... If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then...
Oh no.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a child, but I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered...
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary. He's responsible for supplying I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
I'll stay and be with my father here. My father has indeed done something wrong, but I feel like our only course of...
Yes. I am prepared. It's time to face.
Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private. This place should do. All right. back to my question. How did you all know?
Don't worry about that for now.
Wait, there's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time. I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Khan al-Akmar. If you provide some help for us, then we...
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first?
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some... They're always on the move. Feel free to go have a look.
Sure. And then you...
Hey, come on.
Really? And how do I know you're not...
All right, I get it.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we... Seems like we're in luck. That should be Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Dehya, why are you here?
Look alive! Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you. Oh, she's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding. Did you understand a single word I just said?
All right, everyone, let's all just, Dehya. The boss, he died.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that...
When did he die? What happened?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Khan al-Akmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's...
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya.
Overwhelming strength and...
Those were a part of it, yes. Regardless of whether they joined by whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral... That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, but you, Dehya. You were never asked.
I never even knew that...
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization. Not only that, but he also banned... But in the end, he was just an ordinary He was forced to go to headquarters again.
We all knew he was doing that for you.
And that's why he became a shell of him.
Wait, but that...
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell when you left home after that final argument with him?
So, even the blaze...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you?
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. I suggested that he hand the roll of... His words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard that a massive...
Everyone gained their freedom that night. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us.
The boss can't have just died for nothing.
From that point on, the big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to head. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end. There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supply. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. We used to always laugh at him for it. As for me, I never... But maybe those heroes... Maybe we were all just acting along with... I'm sorry, Dehya.
I'll go with...
Huh? Dehya?
I grew up with these guys, and all I know is that... Furthermore, I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah, Paimon...
Thank you.
I bet Boss would look...
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained.
He can think whatever he wants, but the fact is...
Sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here. Wow. Paimon didn't expect it.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up...
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot...
Yeah. We'll know what they're really capable of. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here.
Let's get it on!
You are not welcome here.
There is no escape!
New punching.
Look alive!
I see everything.
Illusion shattered!
Terminate! I'll take
Gloves off! Buckle up!
I'll be back. Come on, you coward! You won this one.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any
Hey! You guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way!
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being...
Okay, let's...
Look alive! Hi! There is no escape!
Solidify! Propagate! Scatter!
Commit it to memory.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little. Everyone hold hands.
Shine down! Torn to oblivion!
I see everything.
Illusion shattered!
Gather! This is order!
Buckle up!
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through, but as a desert dweller,
Don't waste your breath.
run. I witnessed the go. Even now, my brother, the greatest, should never.
So you want to go out in a...
Let us draw. They are but two. Well, wave one, charge, eliminate them.
Terminate!
There is no escape!
Stabilize!
Hey,
Don't think that you won. You're just getting started.
Now you shall perish!
King Dehya will not abandon any one of his followers.
Look alive!
Brothers! This is where we prove our faith.
Wanna die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
The commander is finally
but they're still coming at us. This place is like a glass.
Yes! Keep fighting!
When the next wave comes, I'm going to see if I can take out...
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've...
Apologies, Lord Michel.
So, it would...
Time to pay for every...
I will be buried in the sand, alongside all...
Hey, wait!
We were too late.
It's over. But if you're still going to...
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go. Let's get it on!
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering?
You call your...
Hey, have you ever heard of a man? Why would...
This is your last...
Hey, if you're here to find someone...
The irony. His life became a light for so many. Where's the records room?
It's right over there.
I mean the...
The old records? Khaenri'ah. Watch your mouth. He was definitely fit, but in the short time he couldn't have possibly... And after that...
Stop wasting our time. Tell me, where is the old...
It's just over there. Go see... There's nothing left in there but ashes. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll spare them no murder.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he...
Dehya.
I'm sorry.
Is this a cane?
Khaenri'ah.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more.
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? So...
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad. What's this?
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would, and Paimon said that she would get both. These opportunities don't come by often. So, hey, come on! Anyway, the point is that you should eat. Dunyarzad will also be here.
Aw, thanks, you two. My chest was filled with all kinds of intent, but when everything came to an end, those emotions, it was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me. Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. Despite all my we're hypocrites. Yeah, you're right.
You're back! Are all of you all right?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dehya, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dehya, your pain must be...
Hey, don't worry about me. If any, my father probably thought that people could... That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. However, there was always something deep within my mind that but now that I consider it...
I understand.
That doesn't mean I won't be making it. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father. And even if the ending of the story may be
Isn't that neat, though? Why don't we go for a change of...
Right. You said you wanted to get a rub...
We'll come along, too.
I can't thank you enough for taking care...
Oh, this rug here is...
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who... Wait, are you...
What are you talking about? Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, but when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still...
so you probably got there...
Yeah, they told me that I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well... One of the injured members gave this box to me and told me that everything left in the camp will get confiscated.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge it.
So this box contains everything that...
Well, back in the day. But let's... What's this? It's just a bunch of junk.
Perhaps it's...
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule...
That probably means this was...
And here are a few bags of children.
Did he get those?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, a wool scarf, which, from the looks of it, I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. 2 empty liquor bottles.
Huh? There's something...
Oh, all right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing... I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing to Dehya. It's all right. I'll just read it out.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose you were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were... But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault.
Can you believe this?
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing... The reason being that... I was never your father to begin...
Wait, what?
Surely,
I don't...
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind... But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it... I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I was their most esteemed leader after all. It's not like I could just tell... at this rate, oh. Anyway, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's... In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little... I suppose. Or I would have suffocated.
he was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn...
Do you already have some ideas about...
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand. I just have one wish. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold, and that only under his care was I able to...
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We could...
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to...
I'll help too.
Thank you. My life has certainly had its twists, because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.